So, do you believe that there is truth behind the concept of birth order?
Yes.
Okay, good. Do you think birth order is a major factor in child development?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Birth order and environment,
Yes.
because the two can impact each other.
Mm-hmm. And so, do you think it also is about like how many siblings you have, like compared to if you had like
Um,
8
an only
compared to
child.
3? Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Um, do you think that there is a certain child who's in the favorable position in the family?
Uh, Jesse, if research shows, because the environment does play an impact, and then the developmental stages change.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you an example. See, one could say that the first child has the favorable position because usually they're the one in position of power and authority.
Right.
Okay, so let's just say by chance we have a family with 3 children, and then the baby is reared by parents who are very confident parents because they've reared 2 other children, been through that process, and they've got parenting down pat. That third child becomes more empowered through the parents' confidence, and maybe even because their socioeconomic status has improved over the years,
Right.
that this child has more accessibility and more availability of personnel resources and what have you, that child becomes the one with the power and the authority. Not out of any, ooh, I've got it over you attitude, but more so just because of the advantages they've had.
Right.
So,
Mm-hmm.
one could say that, yes, the first child has a place of favor and position. And I would say that typically most people would say that first child may have favor and position. But then again, too, that first child is also going to have more responsibility.
Yes.
And then some people would say the last child would have the favored position.
Right. Do you feel that that means the middle child is sometimes neglected?
Jesse, you're probably not going to get any good responses about the middle child. Bless their heart. They often come up feeling needy because of not intended neglect, but
Mm-hmm.
situational neglect.
Right.
The middle child also has to live up to the standards of the first child and is also in the role of assisting the first child in taking care of the baby.
Right.
That middle kid catches it, I'm telling. That's their little parts. Child B in the birth process.
Right.
Child A becomes the eldest. Child B becomes the next.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the typical personality traits will come out in that situation too.
Right. Do you think it has a different effect on boys rather than girls, or?
Uh, there may be differences in the range and scope, maybe a variance in
Mm-hmm.
the intensity of the roles with boys than with girls, but really clear, distinct differences, not generally.
Right. Okay.
If a boy is born first and then a girl second, or let's say, yeah, a boy's born first and the girl second, or 3 siblings thereafter, he's still going to be in the leadership and the power role, and
Mm-hmm.
so is the girl if she were to be born first. But the boys will take it more seriously or to a greater intensity than the girls will.
Oh, okay. What do you feel the only child traits are?
Can go 2 ways. Research shows that you can have a very needy child because they've been spoiled and because the parents have given and given and given. They have this expectation the rest of the world will give to them also,
Right.
and that causes some problems. But then again, you can have that only child who has been reared with the attitude, sweetheart, we love you, but we're just your parents. There are other people in the world, and you always need to show respect and kindness and compassion to everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You're not the only child in the world. You are our only child.
Right.
So you can have that both ways.
Mm.
And then you have parents with an only child that honestly did not spoil that child.
Yes.
No, you're going to work for what you get, and you're going to have this respect for other people. And that child grows up in a very well-balanced situation.
Right.
Typically, the only child usually comes out showing a little bit more neediness than other folks.
My dad, he was in a family he was the oldest of 5, and so I was wondering is it just limited to the oldest, and then all the kids in between are just treated as a middle child, and then there's the baby, or what effect do you think more kids have?
It typically is the eldest child, the kids in between, and then the baby.
Okay. He was telling me, because it was him, another brother, then he had 2 sisters, and one was the baby. But he said the mom tended to favor his sisters. So do you think favoritism also tends to go with what gender?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Hold on.
See, my husband was born second in a family of 6.
Wow.
And he fought for the lead role in the family.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting. Down through the years, he's had the lead role, then the older sister would take over.
Oh.
Then my husband would take over, then she would take over. It was really strange.
Oh, gosh. Well, it seems, because I was wondering, if a girl was born first, but a boy was closely second, would the boy just automatically assume the oldest, the leader position, since he's a boy?
They would vie for it, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
They would try.
Yeah.
Depending on how dominant. Now, for example, again, in my husband's family, that lead girl is extremely dominant.
Right.
She liked that position and maintains it today.
And do you think the age of a parent is a factor?
Yes. Yes. Research will typically show you that younger parents, now let's say parents of affluence that are, say, in ages 30 and above, their parenting skills are going to be a little bit more organized, a little tighter. They're going to be the ones to do the research on how to be a parent and try to apply that to their lives. Parents that are, say, teenage parents, where there is no structure and no order very much, yeah, definitely an impact on the parenting style.
Okay, and